Story recapped here. Today, I'm going to explain a science fiction action film called The Darkest Hour. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. American software designers Ben and Sean are on a plane that's about to land in Moscow, Russia. Sean gets reprimanded by a flight attendant for using his mobile phone, whose signals can interfere with the plane's navigation system. Sean dares the attendant if she genuinely believes in this, pointing out how mobile phones should be banned from airplanes if it were true. Just as the flight attendant gives up on getting him to stop, the plane experiences turbulence and the lights go out. The electrical storm outside causes the plane to short circuit. The passengers, including Ben and Sean, brace themselves for the worst, but the plane regains power moments later. At the airport, an announcement states that all flights are cancelled due to the electrical storm. Sean wears an old suit as they head to their meeting, one that has holes on it. He disguises the holes using a Sharpie that Ben lends him. On their way to their business meeting, Ben practices his speech to sell their software, the Globetrot, a social network platform that directs travelers to the hottest parties and bars near them. However, Sean is more interested in getting drunk and partying in Moscow. The two are excited, knowing that the software they worked so hard on will earn them millions. As soon as they arrive at the conference room, their million-dollar deal turns to dust. Their Swedish business partner, Skylar, has created a knockoff application of their software and is already making the deal. Unlike Skylar, Ben and Sean do not speak Russian, so they have trouble arguing their case in front of their potential clients. Without signing an NDA with Skylar, Ben and Sean are at a loss on how they can claim their software. In front of St. Basil's Cathedral, American tourists, Natalie and Anne, take photos while looking for a club they found on Ben and Sean's blog. Down on their luck, Ben and Sean head to the same club. Ben is worried about their situation, but Sean stays optimistic that they can turn things around. Their night gets worse when they see Skylar. Skylar confidently tells them that what he did is merely a business move that the two need to learn. Their night improves when Ben spots Natalie, recognizing her from the Globetrot app. They introduce themselves to Natalie and Anne. Natalie gets a message from her mother who disapproves of her leaving for Moscow. Just as they are having fun, the power goes out in the whole club. Everyone leaves the club to see strange wispy lights descending from the sky. The crowd is in awe of the celestial event. One of the lights lands in the middle of the crowd before disappearing. A police officer steps into the area and the light appears again, going in and out. Panic ensues when the officer touches the light and instantly disintegrates. More of the balls of alien light start hunting down and killing people. A group of people hides back into the club with Sean and another man barricading the door, but an alien releases a pulse of energy that destroys the door and windows, allowing it to enter. The almost invisible alien nears a group of partygoers. The bartender lights a Molotov cocktail and throws it towards the ball of light. The attack is successful in stopping it on its tracks. Skylar and his date attempt to escape to an alleyway at the back of the building, but stops when one of the alien blocks their way. Skylar quickly closes the door, leaving his date behind, who is attacked and gets disintegrated in front of him. Back at the bar, the burning alien strikes back at the people, hitting the bartender and destroying the wall behind them. Sean finds the storeroom door and directs Natalie to it. He shouts for Ben and Anne to get in, and even carries the wounded bartender into the storeroom with them. They hide, listening to the chaos happening outside. Someone bangs on the door and they let Skylar in. The lights flicker wildly until the power goes out. The group is confused, horrified, and devastated. Days later, the group is running out of food in the storeroom. The bartender that Sean tried to save is dead. Natalie tries to get a signal on her phone again but fails. With the place going quiet for hours, the group decides to go out and head to the American embassy. Once outside of the storeroom, they see that the club is empty. They gather supplies from the bar and head out to see the torn city filled with ash and abandoned cars. No other signs of life in sight. The group hurries across the streets, staying together and keeping an eye out for signs of danger. Finally, they find a Russian woman barricading her window, who helps them with the directions but warns them that they will die. The group finds a bridge, but it's been destroyed, forcing them to find another way. They reach the Red Square, where Ben and Sean search for supplies in an abandoned police car. A dog passes by them, barking at something unseen. Sean watches as the dog disintegrates, having found one of the invisible entities. He warns the others to hide inside the building while he and Ben hide behind the police car. The alien goes to the car. As it gets nearer, the lights and siren turn on, reacting to the alien's electric pulses. Sean tells Ben to hide under the car until the alien passes them. Sean's plan is successful. The alien doesn't see them and it goes away. The two go inside the shopping mall and reunite with the others. Frazzled after seeing the dog die, Skylar jumps at a gust of wind from a distance. Sean yells for him to keep his cool and avoid scaring the others even more. Inside the mall, they find an airplane has crashed into the building. This sends Skylar over the edge, believing that everyone is dead. The aliens are invisible, so they have no way to fight them. However, Sean points out that the aliens disrupt electrical items, much like how the police car lights and street lamps react to it. They deduce that getting out at night is safer, as they would see the warning signs of the entities getting close by. The group takes shelter inside one of the stores. When Anne brings up what Skylar did to his date in the club, he feels remorse, believing he was brave until that moment when he needed to react. Those seconds when he closed the door on his date, causing her to get caught by one of the aliens, has haunted him since. The group decides to find a change of clothes, something more appropriate for their journey. While Sean and Natalie find clothes, Natalie gasps and runs away. The light bulbs across the store have begun to light up. An alien is near. As the entity passes by, Sean remains still behind the windows. The entity doesn't see him, giving him an idea. The entity heads for Natalie, and Sean pulls her back to hide behind panes of glass. The entity ignores them. This confirms to Sean that the entities see them through their electric pulses, and insulators such as glass block them. The group continue their journey to the American embassy but find it's abandoned as well. Inside, Skylar picks up a gun for protection. Debris falls from the upper floors, causing everyone to panic. Skylar begins blindly shooting until Ben shouts for him to stop. Sean suggests heading to the top of the building to get a better view of the city, but Skylar refuses to go with them. Natalie finds a logbook detailing how other cities experience the same attacks. The logbook also suggests there are survivors in other cities. Ben and Sean find a radio and listens to an emergency message in Russian, but none of them understands what it means. Natalie takes her phone near the radio, thinking that it'll help her get a signal, but this predictably fails. Opening a window, they watch as the aliens destroy parts of the city. The sound of gunfire alerts them. Ben and Sean see Skylar moving away from the building. They head out to get Skylar back, hoping that he'll translate the Russian message on the radio. The girls stay, with Natalie watching them from the window. She sees the cars light up ahead of where Skylar, Ben, and Sean are heading. She tries to warn them, but they're too far for them to hear. Ben and Sean catch up to Skylar, who claims to have seen something worth investigating in the distance. Skylar gets cornered and sees another alien closing in on Ben and Sean. Gathering up courage, he tells them to run and start shooting at the entity, knowing that it will divert its attention to him. The two aliens attack Skylar, letting the other two escape. Skylar's legs get shredded before the second alien finishes the job, killing him. Back in the embassy, Sean spots a light from an apartment building with the silhouette of a person moving. This must be what Skylar saw earlier. The others disagree about going out, but Sean insists that whoever is inside that building knows how to survive the aliens and translate the radio message. With the sun coming up, the group hurries to the apartment building. There, they meet a young woman named Vika and an electrical engineer named Sergey. Sergey turned his entire apartment into a giant Faraday cage to block out the electrical pulses, hiding them completely from the aliens. Vika translates the radio broadcast. It's from the Russian Navy announcing a nuclear submarine in the Moscow River bound to leave the following day. The group plans to head to the river by nightfall. While Vika, Natalie, and Anne leave Sergey's apartment to gather supplies, Sergey shows the two men his homemade microwave gun. The high-density microwave would break the aliens' energy field that, in theory, will allow them to kill the aliens. The girls see an alien heading to the building and run. Vika tells them to follow her, but Anne insists on heading back to Sergey's apartment. Natalie wants to trust Vika but follows Anne instead. The two get inside Sergey's apartment but fails to lock the door, letting the alien inside. Sergey shoots it with his microwave gun and celebrates when it damages the alien's shield, but the alien recuperates and kills Sergey. Sean and Ben head to the fire escape. Natalie breaks open a window to follow them, but Anne freezes in fear. Natalie sets the apartment on fire to stop the alien, and Anne finally runs to her but is caught and killed by the alien. Natalie is shocked at her friend's death. She's frozen in place until Sean grabs her and helps her down the fire escape. Natalie, Sean, and Ben reunites with Vika and meets up with armored Russian police officers led by Matvey. The police successfully kill an alien using firearms. Sean collects a fragment of the dead alien before they head to the police's base. Sean tells them about the submarine in the river. Matvey insists that it's impossible to get to the river since the aliens overrun the shortest route while the other way will take them a few days. Matvey's group are adamant about staying to fight for their home, but Natalie points out that it's not their home, so they have to try to get back to America. Vika decides to join Sean's group, and Matvey offers to help them. As they pass through a subway, an alien blocks their path. The others head to the tracks, but Vika is trapped behind a pillar. Ben goes to save her, helping her climb down to the tracks. But before he escapes with Vika, the alien catches his leg and pulls him. Sean attempts to rush to his aid while Ben tries to get a hold of something, but it's too late. Sean watches as his best friend gets shredded by the alien. Sean is frozen in despair. Natalie grabs him, pushing him to move on before the alien finds the rest of them. Outside the subway, they find a patrol boat. The group ride on the boat as it heads downstream to wait for the submarine. Natalie finds a flare gun in the boat and sees that Vika is troubled. Vika feels guilty over Ben's death, and Natalie assures her that it wasn't her fault. Sean, on the other hand, quietly sits on a corner by himself. Natalie comforts Sean as he reminisces about Ben and their friendship. Not having a chance to say goodbye to Ben, Sean suggests saying goodbye to Natalie just in case. The boat crashes and they find light columns coming from destroyed buildings. Materials from the buildings fly upward. Seeing this, Matvey theorizes that the aliens are mining their world for conductive minerals like nickel and copper. Vika spots the submarine, but a building collapses onto their boat, causing it to capsize. Sean, Vika, and the police reach the submarine, but Natalie is missing. They spot a flare from afar, and Sean insists for the submarine crew to wait while he rescues her. The group plots out how to rescue Natalie, building another microwave gun like Sergei's, this time with stronger batteries. At the railway, Sean finds Natalie's bag and calls for her, but there's no answer. Sean's microwave gun malfunctions just as the alien gets closer. Sean is finally able to shoot the alien with a microwave gun, seeing what the alien looks like beyond its force field. The commotion alerts Natalie, who's hiding in one of the buses. A group of aliens arrive and Sean gets an idea to use water to increase the charge of the microwave gun. He spreads water from a nearby truck to the ground. Matvey and his team wait for the aliens while Sean retrieves Natalie. Sean searches for the bus where Natalie is, seeing a bus's windshield wipers move. An alien is around, so he has to be quick and quiet. Matvey's team waits for the aliens to get closer. Vika hides on the sidelines, throwing Molotov cocktails at the aliens to help. As soon as the three aliens reach the water, Matvey shoots the microwave gun at the middle one, and, as Sean theorized, the water conducts the energy, spreading it to the other two aliens. The alien shields breaks and the team shoot at them until they all explode. Natalie and Sean reunite, but another alien traps Natalie and Sean on the bus. It emits electricity, causing the bus to move. Sean struggles with his microwave gun and Natalie nearly gets killed by the alien. He fires the gun at the alien, allowing Natalie to escape. She goes to the driver's seat to stop the bus, but the brakes aren't working. She takes the wheel and struggles to keep the bus from crashing. After firing a few times, the microwave gun's battery runs out. Sean searches his bag to find another weapon and finds the alien fragment he retrieved earlier. He hurls it at the alien, destroying it. The bus finally slows down, and the two reunites with the others. They all head back to the submarine. Sean offers Matvey and his team to join them in the submarine, but they refuse. Now that they know how to fight the aliens, they want to defend their home and urges Sean to teach others how to fight. Natalie finally gets a signal on her phone and receives a message from her mother, saying that she's alive and with other survivors. This comforts Natalie. Sean, Natalie, and Vika ride the submarine out of Moscow. Days later, Sean and Natalie receive information that other cities have begun fighting back, with Paris destroying an alien mining tower. The humans now have a fighting chance against the invaders.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.